Twigbarrow had practically collapsed into his nest that night. Cinderpaw had been full of energy ever since he'd said that she was ready for her assessment. The only way he'd gotten a break was by going out with Blazeheart to hunt. Well, that had taken all day, and all they had to show for it was a couple of beetles and a snake. He didn't even remember falling asleep when he was woken by a low yowl, Dostar, who had been standing guard that night. It turned eerily quiet as he heard Dostar bound across camp, the snow crunching under her paws. Bushes rustled, and he heard more paws crossing the clearing. A wail from Sunnypaw pushed him onto his paws, and he went to check on the commotion. In the middle of the prey pile, he saw Pixelfur's calico pelt wriggle on the ground. Her breaths were coming in short. His eyes went down towards something on the ground next to her. It felt like a rock hit him, knocking out all his air in his lungs as he slowly put the scene together. Slatestone was desperately working with her. Sunnypaw was lying in the snow, her muzzle pressed into her mother's fur, muting her wails. Dostar looked back at him with a grim expression, and the little red, half-eaten beetle that was practically glowing in the snow. The beetle that he had brought in just earlier that night. Hello everyone, and welcome back to our Sims 3 Werecats challenge, where we had a little bit of an incident. So Twigbarrow actually brought back an assassin beetle last night, and because he was so tired, he ended up putting it in the prey pile. Pixelfur was having a lot of anxious thoughts and had woken up just wanting to get a little night snack, and unfortunately she took the assassin beetle and she got very sick. She almost died. And I'm sad to say that she's not out of the danger zone yet. The assassin beetle is quite poisonous, and she has actually 2 days left where she cannot move at all. And she's also lost 4 of her skill. I will be editing that behind the scenes. But she lost 4 of her hunting skill. The beetle is a level 2 out of 3 in poison levels, which means she is knocked out for 2 days. And those 2 days, she has a 30% chance per day of dying. Which means she has to roll 2 30% chance generators before she's actually fully okay. So yeah, that is a little bit up in the air right now. But for now, she's in the medicine den. There's not a lot that Slatestone can unfortunately do about it. And everyone is just kind of gathering here. Oh, Cinderpaw, you should definitely talk to your sister. They should do a little bit of grooming, maybe. And Cinderpaw is actually taking her assessment today, but she might honestly want to wait a little bit after this happened. I think she might. Here comes Twigbarrow. Although, to be fair though, Cinderpaw's whole... she's actually used the bathroom, so there we go. Now she can train and hunt again. She's scared of Thunderpath, but her whole goal is to help others, so I think she would want to work hard to help those in need. Dostar is interacting with her kitten, who really needs to sleep. My gosh, Fawn Kit, please. Oh my gosh. Go in the nursery and take a little nap, yeah? I think, honestly, she would want to take her assessment. And Twigbarrow feels horrible. Because he was the one who mistakenly put the beetle in there in the first place. And I just... I think he feels so terrible about it. We're gonna have these two sniff a little bit, and Cinderpot does actually have a rainbow beetle, but this rainbow beetle only works on kittens, so unfortunately it's not anything we can really use. There we go. I think these two will kind of sniff and perhaps... Hello? They are refusing to interact for a second here. There we go. I think they will probably... Oh, and Sunnypaw and Slatestone are interacting as well. That's really lovely. So, Twigbarrow, I think you will actually send Cinderpaw on... Yeah, she wants to practice her hunting skills. Like, I don't think she wants to really sit still. But she's also thinking about eating kitty pet food. While she's not hungry at all. And grooming herself. Maybe she wants to think about things a little bit. But first of all, I think she does actually want to take her... her assessment. So, Cinderpaw's assessment is going to be catching prey. She needs to catch 3 pieces of prey out of her 6 levels. So basically she needs to have 50% success chance. So these two are gonna go out and they are going to the big... Well, to be fair, Cinderpaw, I suppose, is the one who will choose where they go. So she could go to the training grounds. I don't think she will. I don't think she's gonna go to the Ronde Cliffs at the very least, because that's where her and her mother were literally attacked by a dog just yesterday. Maybe the woods or the mossy path. I wonder where she sort of had the most... Well, the mossy path is closer to the thunder paths. Well, it's a bit more surrounded by them, so I think she would want to go to the woods. And she, of course, is gonna take Twigbarrow with her, who's gonna be keeping an eye on her during her assessment. And hopefully she can actually do it. We'll have to see. Sunnypaw is wishing her good luck, I see. Dostar and Blazeheart, I think you two will actually go hunting. Sunnypaw... Well, that would lead only Slatestone left in camp. Yeah, okay. So I think only Dostar is gonna go hunting. She's gonna go hunting closer to the mossy path. She's gonna go stalking for prey. There we go. She can't walk here, so can you... Hold on. Visit the mossy path. No, not even that. Okay. Just go outside your area then. No? Ah, sometimes the cats can be a bit tricky. There we go. Whoops. Oh my gosh. That's not right. Oops, that's not right again. There we go. Now she's actually going. And over here, hello? There we are. Over here, these two are actually goofing around a little bit. I thought they might be practicing fighting for a second, but no, they're just goofing around. So, we'll have her stalk for prey 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. And Twigbarrow is going to just be standing around. And the moon meeting is actually tonight, which means that Cinderpaw kind of has to do this kind of fast. And then we are going to meet Rook by the cliff over here to see what she might have to say. It seems like Twigbarrow has also decided to stalk the prey a little bit while he's waiting, although mentors don't usually do that, Twigbarrow. I think I'll just have to cancel whatever he's doing. After all, this is kind of Cinderpaw's time to shine, actually. Oh my gosh, I didn't even think about the fact that it's raining, so the snow is going away. Oh my gosh, you guys, the snow is going away. I absolutely love winter. I don't know about you guys. Winter is awesome, but sometimes it's very nice to see the leaves and stuff again. Did you catch it? She did! Ooh, you guys. I wonder if she's gonna get her name. Oh, and I feel really bad for Pixel for... She needs to just be lying in her nest for now. And we do still need to feed her, but that is the only thing we have to do because, well, she's sleeping. She shouldn't really have that many other things going on right now. Okay. Cinderpaw, did you really have to go for, like, one of the worst snakes? In-game, mind you. Oh, Cinderpaw, why? Oh, please catch it. I can't have Cinderpaw dying now on her assessment. Oh gosh. Oh my gosh. And look at how beautiful it is. It's all coming back now. Oh, that must be such a hope for the clan. But at the same time... You guys, she caught it! She just has to catch 1 out of 4 now. Oh, I can't believe it. She's doing so well. Well, the river is still frozen here. Oh, well, maybe not, actually. Twigbarrow? Yeah, no, it is. It is still frozen. How's Dostar doing? She's catching things as well. What is your next piece of prey you're finding, I can't believe it. Cinderpaw might actually become a warrior. What? Twigbarrow? Okay, well, he's presenting that to someone, which means he actually threw it away himself. That's kind of what we're saying. And she's actually going for the same prey that that Dostar is catching right now, which is interesting. Now, she caught her spotted beetle, but will... Oh my gosh. Oh no! You dropped your honeypot ant! Twigbarrow, how could you? Come look at your apprentice. If she catches this, we're just done already. And then she's gonna have her warrior name. Which you guys have actually suggested warrior names on a poll I made, and I am so happy. You didn't. She caught it! Oh my gosh, you guys! And it's even a rare piece of prey, so she can get rid of one of those chip bags. Hello? Look at how happy she is! Look at how happy! But also probably a little bit sad. Well, I mean, that is a pretty definitive assessment. I think he would honestly... She was about to go off and catch more, but I think he would have just walked forward and been like, hey, you, I think I've seen enough. Wow, okay, you guys. They actually did it. Well, she did it. And Twigbarrow is the first mentor we've had. Well, let's have them head home, and it is actually getting quite late. So, Dostar, you should head home as well, and then we're gonna hold a ceremony as well as a little bit of a, there's flowers here. A little bit of a meeting with Rook, it seems. So, you guys, I'll see you in 2 seconds. Dostar looked towards the setting sun. Stars had started to line the horizon. The full moon would be tonight, and Rook seemed to have a message for them all. Gathering her thoughts, she yowled out into her camp. Pride and gratitude filled her heart as the cats lined up underneath her. All their voices grew silent. She took a deep breath and started. Cats of Clan, we have some exciting news tonight. Everyone glanced at Cinderpaw. The news of her flawless assessment had spread fast, and Trickburrow couldn't have looked more proud. Cinderpaw, come forward. The young she-cat walked up, and she could clearly see both Pixelfur's determination, as well as Blazeheart's strong will to help others. I, Dovestar, leader of Clan, call upon my warrior ancestors to look down on this apprentice. They have trained hard to understand the ways of your noble code, and I commend them to you as a warrior in their turn. She looked towards Cinderpaw, whose gaze was determined, but she could see it flickering towards the medicine den every now and then, and Dovestar felt for the young she-cat. Cinderpaw, do you promise to uphold the warrior code and to protect and defend your clan, even at the cost of your life? I do. There was no falter in her voice, and her eyes showed Dovestar just how loyal and brave she was. She couldn't help but dip her head slightly in respect for her efforts. And then, by the powers of StarClan, I will give you your warrior name. Cinderpaw, from this moment on, you shall be known as Cinderfall. StarClan honors your commitment and ability to help those in need, and welcome you as a full warrior of Clan. As the yowls of Cinderfall, Cinderfall, and congratulations spread through the evening air, Dovestar closed her eyes. Imagining the scenario with Rook later tonight, what had the she-cat wanted? And why had she disappeared so suddenly that day? Only time would tell. Dovestar gathered her cats to leave for the midnight meeting. It seemed like months ago, that fateful night, when Rook had sat outside the rock overhang where Dodon was hopefully getting her 9 lives. Her tail had lashed in frustration, and all this time she had spent establishing herself in the clan seemed to have been thrown in the river. Slatestone, her best friend, had chosen Dodon to be leader over her, and there wasn't anything she could do about it. She had sat there in the cold rain, soaked to the bone and shivering, utterly lost from where to go from here. She closed her eyes. Her legs felt tired after the long journey. The weather around her had suddenly gotten warmer, and a strong light had shined around her. Rook had opened her eyes in confusion. Was she dead? In front of her stretched a huge body of water, the sun shining in her eyes, making her blink the water away. A warm wind blew into her face, and her whiskers twitched with dust. Her paws automatically dug into the warm sand below her, and she felt her pads be cooled underneath the heavy layer of sand. She couldn't help but purr at the way her black fur absorbed the sun, creating a heavy feeling around her. Welcome to StarClan, Rook, who flies above. She had whipped around at the new voice. A strange cat was watching her, their fur sparkling with small stars and mist. Just as she was about to hiss, she realized she felt completely safe. This cat meant no harm. I am here to guide you today. Your life giver. I speak for StarClan. The cat's expression was friendly, but not too revealing. Rook settled her fur and took a more comfortable stance. You're the cat Slatestone was speaking of. She nodded. Well, then you should know that you're talking to the wrong cat. Slatestone chose Dodon to be the leader over the clan. That's why I'm not at the moon pool with them. She couldn't help the frustration that made her choke as she spoke. How could Slatestone have chosen Dodon over her to be leader? Dodon was wonderful, but she was no leader. Rook who flies. You have no worries. Leadership over Clan was never your destiny. Clan? Had Dodon already received her 9 lives? She didn't have a chance to question it before the cat continued. Your place is here, on the warm beaches of the ocean. The 2 cats looked out across the water, the sun shining in their eyes. The ocean. Rook hadn't heard that word before. Usually the cats around here called it the Great Lake. The Starkland cat seemed to shine brighter as they spoke. Are you ready to receive your 9 lives? Mine? Rook was quiet. This was her territory, her future. No more stalking around the forest floor, no more jumping after birds. Here she could be free. Here she would be a leader. It became too much and she took a deep breath, ready to follow her destiny. I'm ready. Rook who flies, you have found yet another branch in your path, and now you shall return to the roots of your ancestors. The Starkland cat tilted their head, as if watching Rook's reaction. The black cat remained tall, and her eyes had lit with a fierce determination that even the deepest parts of the ocean could not quell. With these lives, I will grant you instincts of a fisher heart, a mother's love for those you've already lost, endurance for you to show, adventure for where you've been, confidence to know what's right, determination as rooks provide, patience as the morning comes. Survival is in your heart, but unity is where you shall grow. The cat touched noses with Rook, and before she could flinch at the strong pain, a huge wave swept over her. She had struggled under the ocean. Salt was filling her lungs as they screamed for air. She thrashed her paws helplessly towards the surface. Bubbles began leaving her, and shadows flickered from below. Stars above. Help! Her breath was running out, but the surface was getting closer, and the water started dying down. Currents got weaker, and the shadows below her disappeared. She broke through the surface with a gasp and found herself on a small island in the middle of the ocean. She coughed up sand and salt from her lungs and stood shivering for a moment before looking around. The Starkland cat was gone, replaced by a thick fog like hundreds of cats clumping together. Her fur rose as their voices echoed over the water. Rook who flies high in the sky, watch out for the hunter you know. Watch out, it's in the blood that you grow. Rook felt her entire pelt stand on edge. The heavy mist just kept chanting and chanting. They started turning into rooks, feathers flying everywhere, a sharp tang of blood surrounded her. She looked around in horror as the ocean was heavy with dark red, and started lapping at her paws, weighing her down. The rooks in the sky started cackling, as if laughing at her. The ocean runs red, all for your choice. Aren't you sad now? You didn't listen to our voice. She stared at the sky in horror, black now with feathers. She felt herself sink into the blood and sand below her, horror shining red in her eyes. The rooks sang from her above. Watch out, you're feeding her a lie. They cackled and chanted as she felt herself sink down below. Slowly, their voices were drowned out by the blood pulling her down. Rook woke with a start. She gasped for air and looked around her. She was back in her body. The ice flowing through it made sure she wouldn't forget. Everything was still, and she strained to hear soft purrs from within the cave overhang. The moon was still far into the sky, and Rook took a deep, slow breath. She straightened her whiskers and fluffed up her fur against the cold. She sat like this for a while, going through her dream inside her mind. No, it was a vision. She had doubted it was real, but there was no denying the strength she felt inside her body. The strength of 9 lives. That last part, it must have been a prophecy. She shook her head, having no idea what to do with it. One thing was certain. She didn't belong here. She belonged on the ocean beach, waves lapping at her paws. To make sure no one followed her, she rolled in a patch of old garlic close by and spread it outside the overhang of the moon pool. This way, she could be alone with her thoughts. Starkland had made her destiny clear, and she would take it without hesitation.